And welcome to Profile Pod TV. I am your host, Double A, back for another spectacular episode of the pod. Man, we got a great one, another great one in store for you today. As you can see, I got my guest already here, and I'm chomping at the bit to talk to him. Before I get started, though, I just wanted to say, do all the housekeeping stuff that I like to do. Don't forget to subscribe on Profile Pod TV on YouTube. Support. If you want to show support, that's the greatest way, or one great way. Shouldn't say the greatest way to show support. Just click on that little purple logo at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Click on that subscribe, and we're good. We're good to go, man. Leave me a rate and review on Apple Podcasts. Follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, on Clubhouse, all that good stuff, man. I love interacting with the audience. Love doing that, man. That's important to me. So yeah, hit me up, man. Shoot me a DM. Tell me what you think of the show. Tell me how ugly you think I am. Oh, hey, whatever, man. But just don't be nice, man. Be nice. But no, seriously, I appreciate everyone out there, how you're tuning in. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you. If you're listening on the audio platforms, much love to all of you, man. So again, man, I can't emphasize enough how much I love the audience, the listeners, the viewers. So let's get into the brass tacks here, man. The meat potatoes, as they say. Today's guest is a very, very important man in the hip hop industry. He's doing a lot of big things right now. He's the host of the Mike Powers show live. He goes live every Saturday. If you haven't seen his show, you got to check it out, man. Regardless if you're a hip hop fan or not, it's an entertaining show. He interacts with the comment section. He has everybody on there checking him out. He's playing music. He's promoting up and coming hip hop artists. And he's also playing music from back in the day in the 90s, the 70s, all that good stuff, man. And I'm really glad that he took the time to come on today, because this man, like I said, he's going places, and I look up to him. He doesn't know, but I look up to him because he's doing a lot of big things as a broadcaster, as a podcaster with a live show. And I envy what he does, man. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mike Powers, host of the Mike Powers Show. How you doing, brother? Thank you so much.
I'm doing good. Thank you for that, introduction and, all those sentiments. That's very humbling. To have you even call me important, and to that you look up to me in any way. That's a big deal for me. Thank you for saying that.
Oh man, no, of course, Mike. No, I thank you for taking the time. I know you're a busy man. You got a lot going on, and yeah, it's an honor having you here, man. And by the way, I heard during one of your shows, you said someone called you. Some referred to you as a Larry King, the Black Larry King, or the Larry King of hip hop. Clarify that for me, man.
Yeah, I want to say the right name. So, Wes Craven, who hosts Barbershop Talk podcast, I'm pretty sure you're familiar.
Yes.
Him and King Prince, those guys. So Wes Craven one day called me the Larry King of hip hop, and I think it was because of my style. And I embraced it because, I'm a rest in peace, but I was a big time Larry King fan, the way he conducts his interviews. So that was a big honor to be called that. Yeah. Wes Craven, shout out to Wes Craven.
Yeah, shout out to Wes Craven. Yeah, I'm familiar with his podcast. And yeah, man, Larry King, man, are you kidding me? That guy's a legend. Yeah, rest in peace. And yeah, he is, as you and I do interviews, he's definitely someone who's a huge influence and someone you can learn from and take tips from. But yeah, man, again, man, I can't thank you enough. I was watching your interview with G4 Jag.
Yeah.
And yeah, great interview, man. I love that guy because he is a serious MC. He don't play around.
Absolutely. Yeah. I interviewed G4 Jag on the show. He was one of my earlier interviews. It was a big deal for me to get him. Because I heard him, I believe, on 1,000 Words album, the one produced by 38 Special. And I wanted to know who this guy was with this voice. And I dubbed him the voice of God in my intro. Nobody had ever called him that before. And then me and G4 Jag become real cool after that. So yeah, he is a serious lyricist. There's layers to what this guy is doing on the mic. And hopefully one day people will catch up and really understand what he's doing.
No doubt, man. He's definitely thought-provoking. He's got a lot of stuff going on, man. And yeah, but I like what you see. I bring him up, Mike, because I like what you said. During the interview, you you brought up something that he had said somewhere else about people believe in you until you want to get paid. Then it's like, who does this guy think he is, right?
Right. Yeah.
You said that, and you brought that up, and it got me to thinking, like, wow, man, that is a serious point, man, because you got to know your self-worth, man, right? It's important. It's important, right? And then somebody, you start talking about and you were talking about the paperwork and stuff like that.
Yeah.
People want to act funny, right? When you provide them a service, you provide them work, and then you want to be compensated, man.
Right.
And then people start acting funny. But yeah, that was, to me, that was really a light bulb went off, man.
And that's music, right? And it's real life. You know, some people just like that. You know what I mean? And I understand the sentiment he was going for. He said, you know, people believe in you until you want to get paid, you know, right? And then all of a sudden it's like you're doing too much. And it's not even like people might not be asking for a whole bunch. It's just like you say, give me what I'm worth. Some people don't know what their worth is. So yeah, things like that I take to heart from certain interviews. You know, 38 Special came on and said, I took all my money to the plug's house. And so he said that in another interview, and I wanted to ask him about it. I didn't know what it meant. And he said, I'm putting all my chips on the table. I'm investing in myself. Everything I got, I'm putting it on myself. So he said, I'm taking all the money to the plug house. You know what I mean? Doubling down on yourself. You know what I mean? So I learned from these interviews, and I like to learn just from conversation, period. But I learned a lot from these interviews. Yeah.
Oh, no doubt, Mike. You know, I've been doing this about 2 years now, and I'm glad you brought that up, because I take something from every single interview that I do, man. And I like to bring on people who are inspirational, doing things that are extraordinary in life, and to, you know, again, they're motivating. But I learned something from each one, man, and it's a beautiful thing. Each interview inspires me.
Yeah.
If it can't inspire me, then obviously I'm not gonna do it, man. So, but
that's what man, I'm on too. If I don't want to, if I feel like we can't have an interesting conversation, I won't bring you on. I don't care who you are.
Yeah, exactly. That's a key point, man. Key point, man. But Mike, tell us a little bit about what you do, man. You know, give us a snapshot of what Mike Powers does, and tell the good people, man, out there.
It's a lot right now. I think I'm doing too much. But if we're going to talk about it, then okay, there's the Mike Powers interview, where I interview your favorite lyricists. And we have fun with those interviews. We talk about the person, and we talk about the music. And that's where I got the nickname Intro King. People seem to like my intros. I started something new called Mike at Night. It's a late night talk show. And so that's, I think, on its third or fourth episode. People seem to like that. We do interviews on that one as well, but there's monologues and different things going on. Old school commercials on that people really like. And what else do I don't know what else.
Give us all of it, man.
I don't know. I used to do reactions. I'm gonna do a couple reactions for people coming up, because people want to see a couple of those. I kind of moved away from that. Oh, and I do the live show on Saturday. The live show is just this way for me to, you know, congregate with like-minded people like me, people that just like to listen to music, and other people that want to hear me talk. Can I cuss on here or no?
Oh, of course, man.
Feel free. So people want to hear me talk my shit. And so I talk some shit on there, and we play some jams, and it's like it's the lyrical stuff that you're listening to right now. It's the Benny, it's the Flea Lord, it's the Ito, it's all of these things. It's Roman Streets. It's also your old school favorites. It's your West Coast. It's your Chicago. It's your soul music. It's your pop. It's your 80s. It's your Phil Collins. It's your Sade. It's your Prince. It's whatever I can get away with before YouTube decides we're about to shut him down. They warn me often. So yeah, that's what we do. Those three. Oh, and I got something brand new coming up. A brand new show is coming out next month. Or in the month that I think at the end of April, beginning of May, something brand new is going to happen on the Mike Power Show that I think people really going to like.
Are you trying to say you're going to drop an exclusive right now, Mike? Go ahead.
I mean, this is like it's sort of. I'm gonna bring you this exclusive. Yes, this is I think this is the first time I'm really making an announcement like this. A brand new show. I can't really say too much about it, just because when y'all see it, you're gonna be like, okay, I get it. That's all I can say.
Yeah, okay. Can you tell us, is it gonna be on YouTube by any chance?
Absolutely. It's definitely gonna be on YouTube. It's gonna be a whole different dynamic. It's gonna still be Mike Powers. There's gonna be some action going on in there. So
excellent. Excellent, man. Yeah. And man, I've big shout out to Mark Q. He
That's my bro.
Yeah, CEO Legends of the Empire.
Yeah.
He and I go way back, he and I kind of he connected us kind of indirectly, and he put me onto you, man, and man, I was taken aback right away in a great way. And I love what you do, man. I love what you do. I love that Saturday show. It's interactive. It's live.
I saw you last week.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part? What was your favorite part from last week?
Last week?
Yeah. What you like about the live show from Saturday?
Oh man, I barely remember yesterday, brother.
I know I'm bad on memories too. But I mean, we played a lot of good jams though. It's hard for me to. I can't remember. I'm putting you on the spot. I can't remember a damn thing that happened.
No. Seriously, you when I was checking in during that time, you were playing. Was it Crystal something?
Oh, you talking about the song "Crystal Tears"?
There it is. Yeah.
By
that was fire.
His name is Saint Chris or Chris Saint. There, I gotta keep messing that up.
I was checking in during that time, and man, everything you play is fire on there. Almost everything. I think you made. You said. I mean, you kind of made a face, but no, I think I like everything you play on there, man. I really do. It's what contemporary 70s, whether it's 90s, whatever, man. And then a lot of these up and coming artists are, just putting out some really, really good stuff, man.
And we love music. So it's like, if it falls into the category of music, if it sounds good, we probably will give it a spin. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then I like the post you put on your IG page is if you, because people send you music all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. They do.
They send you files. They want to, of course, they want you to promote the music, which is great. But I like what you put. If I have to work, if you make me work to play it, I'm just going to delete it. You probably don't have time to, mess around. And
I don't have time to listen to people's whole albums. I mean, I tell somebody, I was like, how do I get music to you? I say, send it to this email. And I say, send me one song. And people send me 3. Or they send me like links and I got to sign in the stuff. And I'm like, you want me to play this, bro? Just like send me the MP3, have your name and the name of the song on it, and let me get to listen to it. That's the best way to, really get me to pay attention to it. There's people who you love. I haven't listened to their album. You know what I mean? Because I don't have the time. There's too much stuff out. Yeah.
So just a word to the wise, right? Just if you want Mike to at least listen to your stuff, send them one file, right? One
MP3.
On MP3.
I could just click it right there in my email and listen. Don't send me somewhere else. Let me click and listen and we good to go.
That's right. But that's what I like about you, Mike, is that you're straightforward, man. You're direct. There's no bullshit. There's no nonsense. It's just, straight up, man. That's great.
Thank you.
Man.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. And I think that has something to do with, you grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, correct?
Yeah, I certainly did. Born and raised. Yes, indeed.
Born and raised. Yeah, when I first saw you, I thought you were from New York City, man.
People think that a lot. I love New York. I came up on New York hip hop. You know what I mean? I think this is going to be one of your questions coming up. So if I can get ahead of you, you could go ahead and stop me. But, I came up on, Curtis Blow, Run DMC, Kool Moe Dee, LL Cool J. Did I say Run DMC yet? Beastie Boys, Fat Boys, stuff like that. So, I've been around hip hop for Coogee Rap. I've been around hip hop for a very long time. And, that's just where my heart is, I'm married to it.
No doubt, man. I'm the same way. I grew up listening to all those guys, man, all those guys. But what kind of kid were you though, Mike, growing up in Cleveland, man? Were you athletic? Were you kind of a shy kid? Were you the outgoing kid? Were you, tell us a little bit about that.
So, my mother's an educator. So, she made sure that I was well-read and that I had command of the English language, both written and verbal. And so what kind of kid was I? I played a lot of basketball. I ran around a lot. I got into fights in school. Some of them I won, some of them I lost. A lot of them I lost early on. Till I got to a certain age. I got to be 14 years old. And, You know what I mean? The wrong guy did the wrong thing on the wrong day, and I finished that, and that was kind of a turning point for me. But I had my little family problems growing up in the home. I guess you would call that maladjusted based on what the fuck was going on inside the crib. My dad was a little bit out there, and so that informed how I acted in public. So there's a lot of times if somebody got on my wrong side, I might snap on them. And so, but I was a person that cared about people. I was a people that cared about animals. My mother taught me to love everybody and don't discriminate. So, average kid from the hood, sans all the, bullshit trauma that was going on at the time. Yeah. Which, I mean, I don't talk too much about that publicly, but you asked me, what it was like coming up. That's what it was like.
Yeah, no, I like to I like to get to know my guests, man. I like to take it back a little bit. What influenced them? What kind of childhood did they have, man? And because I think it's important. I think that's important.
Yeah.
The formative years, are crucial.
Yeah,
crucial, right.
Absolutely.
And so going into high school, man, did you ever get into being that you were a big hip hop fan? Did you ever did you dabble in any type of music production, anything like that? Acting, any of the arts?
Yeah, I mean, so I started writing raps when I was 11, and I started battling around that time, 11 or 12, and I didn't lose too many battles that I can remember. I was, but this is at a time when the style was probably a little bit more rudimentary. My idols at the time was like Rakim, when I was coming up, and so those are the guys I aspired to be like, those lyrical scientists. And I started going to the studio when I was about 19. I started producing records from my crew. I was the leader of my crew, and I was.
What they call you, man?
What did they?
What'd you go by, man?
I never. You know why I don't never talk about it? Because you can't find any of it. The stuff that I did was basically with social media, you know what I mean? So it's not, and then I had everything digitized, but it got lost in a fire. And so I never say what my name used to be.
Okay.
But one day, and also another reason why is because I use that name sometimes for my password. So I'm not
no. Yeah, exactly. It's all good, Mike.
I know people are gonna be like trying to break into my shit using XY, but you'll never guess it. Never.
Oh man, maybe
it was Grandmaster Mike. No, it wasn't Grand.
But so you said you started producing, or so you mentioned 19 and 19 you were.
Yeah, but 19 I started producing inside the studio. Yeah, and I did that for, I don't know, 10 years or something like that. And then I kind of got disillusioned with working with artists. You know what I mean? So, a lot of people want to skip the artist development part. I find that still goes on to this day. So that was the main reason that made me kind of back out of this. I'll tell you a story.
Go ahead.
I'll give you something. So I was taking trips to LA.
Okay.
And I had this one guy that was with me, and he was a star.
What's the time frame here, Mike?
Let's just say it was let's say around 2000. Okay. Somewhere like maybe a little bit before 2000, maybe something like that.
Gotcha.
And so I took this guy out to LA with me. I'm not gonna say why I took him, but my crew was like, yo, you always go to LA, you don't take nobody. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna take this guy. This guy's a star. So I took the guy with me, and we go do these meetings. I got a friend that works in the industry, still well respected inside what you call the old industry. And so I'll go out there with this guy, and he's like, yo, we about to go over to the studio we about to go visit KC. Yeah, KC. So we go to the studio. KC is there. KC from Jodeci.
I was about to say, is it Casey Haley, Jodeci? Casey?
Yeah. So I'm in the same room with the guy.
All right.
And my guy is there. My artist is there. My homie is there that brought me. Casey is there. That's it. And so I'm in there, and this is after Jodeci's heyday. and you can start to see just a little bit of the worm turning on KC. You can just see things was starting to go a little bit left, but he wasn't messed up or nothing, right? So he's got this album that he's playing for my guy, and he's playing these songs, and it's a solo project that he's gonna come out with. I don't know if it came out or not, but I hear one of these songs that's like a mid-tempo joint. I told my dude, like, yo, you could probably write something for this, maybe get a placement, right? And so my dude's like, yeah. So to my guy, like, yo, you think you could talk to KC, get my guy a placement? He said, yeah, like, have him write, because my dude was nice. So we was there for 4 days. This is the first day we was in LA. We there for 4 days. This guy writes verses in 15 minutes. Most fire shit you ever heard. 4 days go by, the guy can't write a verse. We in LA. Can't write a verse.
What? I'm
in LA. I could go back to the studio with this guy. I could lay down a verse. He can't write the verse. And we go back on the plane. I was so mad. It was after that I found out that he was strung out on some type of drug. And that was the end of that was right around the time I was like, you know what, I'm tired of fucking with these guys. So I moved on and started doing other things.
Now, did he have a reputation or anything, like, or it was unbeknownst to you that was he, like I said, did he have a reputation for taking drugs? Or
nah, the thing about it was he was one of those affable dudes. He was always happy and joking and laughing, and everybody smoked herbs, so it was like that's how I would catch him. And I wouldn't be around him all the time, right? So we would be in the studio together, we would kick it every once in a while, but he spent the vast majority of his time like somewhere else doing other things. So I didn't really know that until I got back, and then people would tell me, and then I caught it with my own two eyes. But yeah. So that kind of soured me on fucking around with artists. Now I'm kind of like back in the game, you could say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Like, KC, JoJo. I mean, Jodeci, I should say. Man. That's so that was kind of. I guess I take it you were disappointed after that.
Yeah, I was extremely disappointed in this guy. And at that time, you think every opportunity is like the next thing that's going to catapult you somewhere. So imagine the frustration at that point, like, yo, you really fucked up something big. Who knows where it would have went? But it was just one of those signs that the universe gave me, quit fucking with these guys right now. That's all.
Yeah. I see, man. So from that point on, man, did you ever go to college or anything like that, Mike?
I did go to college for a hot second. I mean, I went to I was down in Virginia for a minute at college. I fucked that up my first year.
Virginia?
Yeah, I didn't go to University of Virginia, but I was going to a school in Virginia. I just don't want to say what it is, but I was too free and too young, and I was away from home, and I did whatever the hell I wanted to do. And they made me a deal because they said, we're going to expel you. And I said, my mom find this shit out, and she's going to take my head off. Like, no, you can't do this. And the guy said, if you promise not to come back next year, I won't expel you. And I said, deal. And I got out of there, and that was it.
What did you end up doing, man?
I did a lot of
9 to 5.
It's a lot of 9 to 5, quite a few things. I mean, I did real estate. I sold some houses. I did mortgages before. I killed the game when I did the mortgages. Then the industry crashed in like 2008.
Yeah.
I mean, I was doing good. I was making some bread, and and I'm known as a writer, so there's other people that I have helped out with the words that come out of their mouth and what their image is and what their branding is. I had roles that involved that, and that had to do with politics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just don't like to talk. I hate to talk about this. I'm gonna tell you, to be honest, because people asking me questions is weird. Like, I like asking other people questions.
It's funny you bring that up, Mike, because like I said, I've been doing this for 2 years. Being on the other side of the mic, on the other chair, the dynamic is so different, man. It's so different.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, right?
I feel weird.
Such a contrast. And you don't do many interviews, right?
Oh, I don't interview with hardly any. I've done, I think I've done 2 interviews. And I like the people that I interview with, and that's why I did it. I like you. I like what you do. Barbershop Talk, I went on there, and Ill Street News, but I turn down more interviews than I accept. I don't like being a subject. So no, I don't do a lot of interviews.
Yeah, no, which is another reason I'm so honored, man, that you decided to come on and on my show here and give me some time. But yeah, man. So you finished. You worked real estate, man. You did a few things, and then when did things kind of start trending toward the what you're doing now, and where did things started kind of going back into the musical arena for you, man?
There was a guy I knew that wanted to do a show. I'm not going to say too much about this guy, but he wanted to do this radio show, and I was trying to help him out. So I was helping him broker the deal with a terrestrial radio station. And I was going back and forth doing meetings and everything like that. And he wanted me to do the show with him because he didn't have the experience on air, and I did. And, he kind of just played around with it for too long. And one day my girl said, why are you even worried about doing that radio show? Why don't you just do something on YouTube where you could touch millions instantly? And she had been saying that to me for a while. And I said, yeah, I'm making money. I'm doing my job. I'm not going to do that. Then one day she said it again. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. And I just started doing it and didn't know what I wanted to do or how I was going to present myself on YouTube. But I turned on the camera and we just got to work. And that's where I'm at right now.
So those early episodes, yeah. I was looking back at some of your early stuff, and now was that the Mike Power Show? It was titled Mike Power Show already.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so I think as time went on, your vision, what you want to do, kind of crystallized a little bit for you. Right?
Yeah.
And then so what we see today, the Mike Power Show. When did that whole thing really come to fruition? When did it really take off for you, man? That format and everything.
Yeah, the way it is right now, it happened with I don't know, I just started finding myself. I mean, and there's a lot of things about what I do I don't talk about because it's just about how I think about stuff, and those are thoughts for me. But I will say that there became a time where I wanted to interview people, and at the time, my girl said, "Yo," I was watching Left Lane Dead On videos, and I said, "This guy's incredible." She said, "Why don't you interview him?" I had never interviewed anybody on my show. I hadn't even thought about it. Like, all right, so I reached out to Left Lane Dead On. Shout out to 302 Left Lane Dead On, Jay Nice. Shout out to All Hell YT, Chris Skills. I mean, all those guys. And I reached out to Lefty. He got right back to me. He's like, yo, first thing Lefty, I said, y'all want to interview? I love your music. He said, first thing he said back to me, what you want to talk to me about? I was like, your music, bro. Just flyer ass music. He was like, yeah, we did the interview. Here's my first interview. I did an intro. The reason why I did the intro the way I did the intro, because the intro has become a thing now. Why did I do that? I did that because I was really upset that people wasn't paying enough attention to Left Lane Did On. I was looking at his views and thought they didn't match up with the talent. And I was angry about it. So I'm a guy that goes around and been doing this for a very long time. I'm out in the streets. I will scream on people. I have arguments with people about, why you not listening to this fucking Nas? Why you not listening to this guy? Like, why you listen to this garbage instead of this? And I'm that guy. I'm a proselytizer of this lyrical art form. And so I said to myself then and there, I said, you know what? I'm screaming on people for the past 20 years. I'm about to scream at my audience, because these motherfuckers ain't clicking his videos enough. That's what happened with the Left Lane Did On intro. That wasn't trying to do shit except for express anger toward the fact that he wasn't getting his views. And then people say, yo, what's up with the intro? And then I just start doing intros. People like it.
Yeah. No, you bring up an interesting point, man. And how many times do we see that where, you have these hidden gems, these talented individuals, man, and it just doesn't match up with their viewership, listenership. The numbers just don't equate.
Yeah.
Start wondering, like, what the hell's going on? That's an interesting point.
That's why I do hashtag real rap superstars on my IG, because to me, these guys are real rap superstars. I don't care Roddy Ricch and Blueface and whoever else is Cardi B, whoever moving, whatever units they move in. Mm-hmm. You're not going to tell me that those people is more important to hip hop than, let's say, like a Flea or a Rome or a Planet Asia or a Lupe Fiasco. You're not, right? So
yeah,
I'm married to the art form, and I'm a strong advocate for real lyrics.
Yeah, no doubt. But and then you have the whole argument then that plays into that, where you got mainstream, right? Of course.
Yeah.
Just mentioned a few names. And then you have, the guys who are down and dirty, man, who are doing the real hip hop, who are upholding the art form for what it truly is, right?
It's a lot of frauds in this space too. Let's not get it twisted. There's a lot of people out there who was doing some goofy shit a few years ago, and they're not even lyrical now. What they're doing is they're grabbing beats that sound like what this sound is supposed to be, and they're putting their bars on it. And those guys, I go through their catalog and find out what they're really about, to find out if they're really a lyricist. And then once I find out that they're just wave riding, I'll leave them alone forever. Because you got to get out of my way. It's too much music going on.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. And so you've experienced success, man, with the Mike Power Show. What are some challenges that you've had to face, Mike? And how did you overcome some of those challenges?
Challenges is like, learning how to market yourself, which is something I'm still learning how to do. That's a challenge. Figuring out how much of yourself to share with people on camera and off camera. Because people think, like I said, and I'll say this a lot, people get tired of hearing it, but the show is not about rap. Like, my show is about me, right? And I happen to mess with the rap and other stuff too, but it's about my journey, how I deal with this music, how I relate to it, how I feel about this music and things that are tangential to this culture. You know what I mean? Whether or not you want to call it hip hop culture or more broadly urban culture. You know what I mean? That's what the show is about. So the challenge has been, how much of myself to show on camera, how to organize, how to do so many things at one time and not go crazy. And that's it. I mean, my show is really about me being authentic. So from that standpoint, I don't have many challenges. I'm me on camera for the most part.
Yeah, man, that's what I love about it, man. It definitely comes across, all that authenticity, the realness that comes across, man. And I appreciate.
And people know I cry a ton on my show. I mean, don't get no realer.
That's right, man. I've seen that.
Yeah.
And again, I appreciate
either
that,
over music or other issues. Just whatever happens, it happens, and that's part of the show. I don't delete those videos. I just leave them there, even though when I get off air, sometimes I go, "Oh, I want to delete that joint right now." But I sleep on it, and I wake up the next day and I go, "You know what? Somebody finds that 20 years from now, they're gonna see a real representation." You know what I mean? That's all I can tell you.
I know that feeling, man. But
yeah,
are you content with the way things have gone for you up to this point, man? Any regrets?
No, I'm not content at all. Not even close. So for me, people say, "Yo, your show is great," or "It's the best," and it's just like I don't listen to none of that. I don't believe it. I don't hear it. I don't receive it. I feel like, I'm a guy that likes negative reinforcement. That's how my dad raised me. Like, no, that's garbage. And so until that's the thing that really gets me going. People say you're garbage, then that's when I start working harder. So I get in a zone where too many people telling me my shit is good. I start to tune it out.
Yeah. No. Complacency, right?
Yeah, because you get comfortable. Yeah, you get comfortable and think you're doing everything right. And I'm constantly asking people, "Yo, what's wrong with my show?" I ask people I trust, people I don't know. I say, you like the show? What didn't you like about it? What didn't work for you? And they don't really have good answers for me, but I'm gonna keep asking that question because I want to be criticized.
Damn, I need to start doing that, man. Shit. Yeah, man. But are you happy with the journey so far? I know you want to take it to, you want to do better. You want to take it to new heights. You want to do, but with the way things have gone so far, with your journey so far, how do you feel about it?
I'm happy with what I've done so far. I think I did a little something. People like it. The whole thing is, the most important thing is not, it is never going to be about how I feel about it. The only thing that's important is how the audience feels about what I do.
True.
I mean, it only matters what they think. And beyond that, my son told me 2 or 3 weeks ago, he was super proud of what I'm doing. Don't make me start crying on your show. But that's my homie. My son, I got one son. He's in his 20s. He told me, "Yo, you killing the game and I love what you're doing and I'm proud of you." So,
wow.
What else do I need after that?
I hope my son's watching this. Renee, I hope you're watching this. You hear that? My son's 19. Yeah, brother. He's 19 years old, my son. And
yeah, I know he
man,
got to be proud of you. Look at you. You're doing great things with this show, bro.
thank you, bro. Thank you,
Yeah.
man. But to hear it come out of his, it must have been what a moment, man. That must have been.
I mean, I cried like a baby. He sent it to me in a text when I was on the road. You know what I mean? And my son works with me on my show. He lives somewhere in a different place than what I do, but he started to get involved and help me out on logistical issues behind the scenes. And it's a dream come true to be able to work with my son.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great, man. That's great. That's great. And then I'm sure he's learning a ton. And gosh, that's great, man. That's awesome, bro.
And I have a great kid. He's just he's a nice guy. He's incredibly smart, caring individual. Loves the music. You know, my guy has the words 93 to infinity tattooed across his shoulder blade. You know, because that's probably still his favorite song. You know what I mean? He was born in 93.
Oh, born okay.
Yeah, so it's 93 to infinity on his back. He went to the show. He's met those guys. They brought him on stage, showed off the tat. So my son comes by, honestly. I start letting my son listen to, you know, hip hop from the beginning. But we get into the hardcore, maybe like 10 or 11 years old. We was doing Mobb Deep, Tupac, all that stuff. And I would just tell him, it's like, listen, this is music. It's not for you to emulate, you know what I mean? But I want you to understand what's going on lyrically, how they talk about the hood, the street. These are the different techniques, cadences, things like that. And so, you know, you have to raise your kids like that if you want them to listen to good music, man. You have to do that.
You know, it's funny you say that because, well, first of all, man, you gave your son an awesome education, and that in and of itself, teaching him the right way the right way, man. Listening to music like that, those artists, those lyricists, and the way you framed it. You know, I don't want you to go out and, you know, shoot someone, obviously, you know, but this is what I want you to understand this about the music, et cetera, et cetera.
Dude, we listened to the whole Infamous album together plenty of time. That's a heavy album. You know what I mean? But there was no way in hell I was gonna let him get to 12 or 13 years old without hearing the Infamous. He was at an age of understanding. He could understand it. You got to hear this, bro. So you know what I mean? This is like injected into him and my dad did it for me. The first sounds I ever heard was my dad playing Isley Brothers and Barry White and Marvin Gaye and Earth, Wind and Fire. So I mean, that's why I came into the world. You know what I mean?
Oh man, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
that's a thing. I think I did okay with my son too, man. I put him up on game early on.
Yeah,
and he's pretty well versed in. I mean, he's telling me. I mean, I had never heard of Joey Badass. You know, guys like this, Seafood Sam.
Yeah,
he's listening to some stuff obscure hip hop.
My son turned me on to Odd Future. Like I want to say 10 years ago or more, something like that. Came to me, was like, "Yo, check this out," and I was like, I couldn't get it at first because Tyler was saying so much wild stuff. I was like, "Yo, I think I've seen this before already." I think his name was Eminem, with all this shocking ass stuff that's being said, and he was like, "Nah, this is whole crude," and I was like, "All right." He's like, "Yo, check out Earl Sweatshirt." He let me hear Earl Sweatshirt. And he was letting me hear this stuff, and he says, "Yo, this dude wrote all this when he was 15. His mom sent him away to a boarding school." And I said, "What? The kid's 15? He wrote this shit?" My son said, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, this is serious crew." So yeah, my son's turned me on to. I didn't know about, you know, Paramore's not hip hop, but he turned me on to Paramore. Yeah, my son continues to turn me on to music to this very
great.
day.
Yeah, that he was taught right, man. That's what. Right?
That's what we do, and especially in hip hop, each one teach one. You turn me on to something, I turn you on to something. That's how it is.
Yeah. You know, Tyler the Creator, Little Brother. I mean, all these guys, man, and you know what I mean. But yeah, that's a great story, man. I didn't know your son. And who's by the way, speaking of family and sons and nephew. Talk a little bit about nephew, man.
Man, that's a guy that is that's not my real nephew, but that's you know, somebody that's I got him under the wing a little bit. So he's a young guy. My demographics tend to skew a little bit older, and he's a young guy that like really likes the lyrical stuff. And he found my channel, and you know, I would have him call in every once in a while. He's just funny. People like him. And me and him talk behind the scenes a lot. It's like, you know, he's almost like another one of my sons. Now I'm not gonna be paying nobody's college tuition or co-signing for a car, but but that's the homie right there. Nephew is the homie. Shout to nephew though. You know what I mean? And he's in the Midwest, and he might even start doing some rapping pretty soon. You know what I mean? You never know.
Yeah. I seen nephew. I caught on to that early on when I was listening and watching your shows. And
I love that kid.
Yeah, that's great, man. Hey, mentorship is a powerful thing, man.
Yeah, and I just met him through this. I mean, it's like, you know what I mean? It's the universe.
Oh, yeah. No doubt, man.
Yeah.
No doubt, man. Yeah. So, yeah, big shout out to nephew. Big shout out. What's your son's name, by the way? Your first
Slick Deuces.
Slick Deuces?
Slick Deuces. That's my son. Yes.
I think I've seen him in the comment section.
Yeah, he hangs out in the chat and comes chopping up with the people. You know what I mean? Yes.
Yeah.
Love
Slick
when
Deuces.
I see him there. He brings a smile on my face. Sometimes, most of the time, he's not in my live. He doesn't. Most of the shows that I do, like when I was first starting out, I would be like, "Yo, you seen my interview?" He's like, "Nah, I didn't get to see it." He's like, "You think I'm gonna sit around and watch my dad?" I said, yeah, I guess you're right, bro. Touche. I mean, but the live, I think he loves the energy of it. You know what I mean, and being around the people and like-minded individuals. You've been in the live thing Saturday. It's a family affair, bro.
Oh man, it's great. It's
Yeah.
great, man. I love tuning in every Saturday. You know, we get it at 10 a.m. over here, right?
I know. I mean, so y'all could turn it up, clean the house up on Saturday. You know what I mean? All that kind of stuff. Then I got my R&B segment. If your woman is there, we get the two-step going. Let's do that.
That's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I've run many errands to the Mike Power Show. I've cleaned the house. I've washed my car. You name it, man.
That's my paycheck though. That right there.
Yeah.
When people tell me that my show has some kind of effect on their day or that they're moving through their day listening to what I'm doing, that's my paycheck. You know, I love that.
Isn't that? Yeah, that's a great feeling, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely.
As a podcaster, yeah, man, that's humbling for me as well. People tell me, "Hey, man, I listened to your show. I was doing this, and I really like this," or any compliment. Yeah, man, that's a beautiful thing, man. That goes.
And I'm interviewing porn stars now. I think that's on your list, right?
Yeah. Well, let's get into that, bro. That's a good segue right there.
Yeah. I do this.
Hey, no, I was watching that Cotton Candy interview, man, and I even told you I think I sent you a DM or something. I was like, "Hey, man, that was a great interview, man. Seriously,
Thank you.
Oh man,
I got more segments of that coming out. I'd like 2 or 3 more segments. I think from her will be coming out.
I saw that, man. So how do you go? Well, no, again, man. Let's stay on Cotton Candy for a little bit, man. But yeah, that was a really insightful, informative, entertaining interview, man. She was very forthright.
Yeah.
She didn't hold back, man. She kept it a buck.
Yes. That was a great conversation. Yeah, it was a good conversation. Listen, I think I said on the interview, you know, guys, we watch porn, right? So, and I've been. What
are you talking about, man?
Everybody except you. But nah, since we was like little Playboy magazines, porn, all this other kind of stuff. And so for me to be able to talk to somebody who makes their living entertaining people in that way, somebody as intelligent as her, business savvy as her, confident as her, and open, that was a blessing because I got to ask a lot of questions that I think a lot of people wanted to know. And she was more than willing to answer it, and we had fun with it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I like that. It'll be more interesting interviews like that coming up on the show.
Yeah. I mean, she was talking about the services that she provides with the guy who's in the diaper, and she I mean, just
my son found out who that guy was. He did some research. I'm not gonna say what the guy's name is, but my son did some research and found out exactly who that dude is.
If you guys haven't seen that interview, go catch that on the Mike Power Show on his YouTube channel, man. His interview with Cotton Candy, adult film star. And I like how you were trying to kind of narrow down the politicians she was providing services for.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, he's definitely Republican. He's from the South. He's
over 65 white guy. Absolutely. But and when my son uncovered who it was, that dude checked all those boxes. You know what I mean? He checked every one of those boxes. So I was dead on. But and I would advise your audience, go check out some of her work. You know, it's not suitable for work, so do it in private. But go check out Cotton Candy. It's Kandi. You know, you go check her out, check out her work, and then go watch the interview. It's going to add much needed context.
Okay, there you go. You heard it from the man himself. Yeah,
I did some research on her before I interviewed her too.
Yeah,
research.
Yeah,
purely professional. Nothing.
I got you, bro. I got you.
Yeah.
So speaking of your guests, Mike, how do you go about booking your guests, man, for your interviews, for your show?
I wake up, whoever I want to talk to on that particular day, what I would do is I just reach out to people, you know, and some people say yes, some people say no. I mean, and then there's people that ask me to do interviews. They want to come on my show and do interviews. And unfortunately, a lot of those people get turned down. Some of them are names that people might even know. But I feel like if I don't feel like I can have an interesting conversation, I don't want you on my show. So it doesn't matter the records that you move or how many people know you. It's just about my ability to create something entertaining for the viewership.
Wow, man. That's interesting, man. Because a lot of people would be like, oh, shit, he's got 100,000 followers and he's big time and he's big name. Hell yeah, get on my show right away. Yeah. But it's sometimes, well, you keep it real. If it's not a good fit, it's not a good fit. I mean,
it's a lot of people. It may be less rappers. I mean, just depending on when I run out of interest in certain, like, I just feel like I may be getting to the point where it's a handful of people I still want to talk to that rap, at least on this lyrical level. And that could change over the next few weeks. That's just where I'm at right now. So I'm starting to branch out and talk to people that's not just underground lyricists.
Okay. Yeah. But in the Cotton Candy interview was, by the way, on Mike at Night.
Yes, it was. And right? the next thing, it'll come out, but it won't be Mike at Night. It'll just be other segments. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it won't be, and there'll be more Mike at Nights coming up. It just won't be with her on it.
And Mike at Night, is it Thursday nights?
Listen, that thing comes out. I don't know when I drop them when I get them. So, you know, it could drop any day during the week, but usually between Monday through Friday, one episode will drop. Yeah. Because people say, yo, it's a late night talk show. Why don't you drop it at night? It's like the idea is a late night talk show, but YouTube, you got to kind of release videos at a certain time to capitalize on people that are online and searching.
Exactly. Yeah. It's kind of like Instagram, right? You don't want to just I mean, there's certain times that are primed for posting a video, posting a picture, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get you, Mike. I get you. So speaking of interviews, man, we already kind of talked about Larry King, man. Who are some of interviewers that you kind of look up to that influence you, man, as an interviewer? Yourself?
Larry King, Phil Donahue.
Oh wow! What you know about some Phil Donahue?
Oh, he was my favorite. He was my favorite after school every day. I just had to see what he was talking about. I mean, I didn't care who he was talking to. It didn't have to be controversial and people fighting. It just had to be Phil asking the questions that he wanted to know the answers to. And I was amazed about how he got there. You know what I mean? And his research and his knowledge. And so Phil Donahue was like my number one. Then of course there's, you know, Larry King. There's a guy from there's the Lipton guy from Inside the Actor Studio is a big influence. You know, Donnie Simpson from BET is an influence from back in the day. Arsenio Hall is a huge influence on me. Dave Letterman is an influence. So yeah, all those guys.
Oh, those are some great names, man.
You know, and Don Lemon now, you know.
Don Lemon?
Yeah, Don Lemon. Okay. Yep, CNN. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. He's but yeah, no, those are incredible names, incredible interviewers, man.
I study people. I really do study them. Yeah.
You got to do it, man. I know I find myself, like last night I was looking at, remember Dick Cavett?
Oh, Dick Cavett. Bro, man. His show. What was you was watching on YouTube?
I was looking at old YouTube videos.
You was watching one with him and Muhammad Ali?
No, actually the one with David Bowie, believe it or not.
I didn't see that one. How dope was that? Was it good?
It was good, man. Yeah, I mean, that guy, David Bowie, you look at the comments, people were saying, he was coked out and all this and that. David Bowie was, but no, Dick Cavett was a consummate professional, man. He was unbelievable.
I know. I can't believe somebody calling me during this, and it's from my hometown. Can I help you? See? Garbage. I'm
Tell
so
Mark
sorry.
Earl.
Let me do this. All right. I think I just threw that in the
See?
couch cushion. I might have lost that phone. Sorry.
Oh, see, there's no bullshit with you, Mike. It's all
I
straightforward, man.
apologize. I'm
Tell
not
us how
used to,
you really
I'm not
feel,
used
bro.
to this. But yeah, David Bowie. So was
Yeah.
he dressed up or was he just David Bowie on the
No, he was. I mean, he was a typical David Bowie form. You know, he had like his very unique. His hair was orange, and he was parted a certain way, and he had this like suit, this funky suit with like red jacket on with a blue
he was on the
fake
Ziggy
blue
Stardust
tie.
shit.
He was doing his Ziggy Stardust shit. Yeah, for sure,
Okay.
man.
All right. Salute David Bowie. Rest in peace, man.
Oh yeah, man.
Legend.
Definitely, man. But you can go back and look at all those. Yeah, I like going back and looking at like those old roasts from Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin. All those roasts.
I watch those when the commercials come on. I watch all of that, bro. Trust me. I like that. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I learned so much from those guys, man. Just entertainers, straight up, man.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
You know, the best. You know, and which was I wanted to kind of ask you too, as far as entertainers, man, are concerned. Who are some guys that influenced you, man?
Just overall entertainers, our
A-
singers,
Actors, singers, you know.
Denzel Washington,
Mhm. Oh
Stevie,
yeah.
Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson, James Baldwin, the author. Um,
Unreal, man.
I'm forgetting the author with the hair that looks like I don't know why it's not coming to me. But yeah, like all kind of
Stephen
anybody.
King.
Prince, who?
With the hair, you said with.
He's an author. Jesus Christ, the greatest American author. Like that's what they call him, the greatest American author. Somebody, one of your followers will know who I'm talking about. His name used to be Samuel Clemens. I can't remember.
Mark Twain.
Mark Twain. Love Mark Twain. I mean, he's literary, not so much of an entertainer, but yeah.
Yeah, no.
I'm a big Twain fan. You know what I mean? Like I say,
That's
Prince,
cool.
Michael Jackson. You know,
Yeah.
Jackie Wilson, Quincy Jones, Jay-Z, Nas, AZ. You know, oh, Yola. Yola. She's a black woman from England, and she is known as the Queen of Country Soul. Bro,
Country Soul.
She's out right now. Like she's
okay.
Yola is high on my list right now.
I got to check her out, man.
Yeah,
she's a contemporary artist.
Absolutely. Like she just started dropping stuff a few years ago. Like she just caught fire like a couple years ago. Yola, Yola. You could follow her. I am Yola on IG, and then go look up her version of Goodbye Yellow Brick Road.
Okay.
Wow. And she does it live on Kimmel. Watch that one, and then watch her NPR Tiny Desk concert. It will blow your mind. It's 15 minutes, and you won't be the same after.
Look at that, man. Putting me up on game.
Yeah. Real talk.
Appreciate it, man. No. I on that G4 Jag interview, you were talking about, you guys were, I think you asked him, who do you have to listen to, man? And of course, Mike Jackson was at the top of that list. Prince,
the legends. Yeah, I mean,
of course, man.
Yeah,
man.
And nobody will ever be better than Michael Jackson. Let me just say that and be done with it.
He is a class on his own, man.
Yeah, Michael absolutely Jackson. Transcends music, but just what he did to music, he just made it his own. Like he was so incredibly talented. And this is the guy who was famous from the time he was 5 years old until the day he died.
Yeah,
like 45 years. This guy was famous. You know what I mean? World famous, not just famous in Gary, Indiana, famous in like about across the globe. World famous since the age of 5.
Hey, one thing about Michael Jackson, man, that I have to take, and hopefully emulate something in a fraction of a way, because it was his work ethic, man. The guy, his work ethic was, I don't know if you've seen that, the Quincy Jones's documentary that recently came out maybe a couple of years ago. His daughter did it.
The one on Netflix?
Yeah.
I saw that. I did.
And he mentioned about Michael Jackson that when they were working on Oz, and that Michael Jackson was their first one there. He knew everything. He knew his lines. He just had everything down pat, man. His dance steps, everything was just boom. He was so impressed by Michael Jackson's work ethic that he wanted. That's what kind of inspired him to work. I think it was either Off the Wall.
Off the Wall was the first Quincy Jones project.
Yeah.
And then Thriller.
Thriller, yeah.
Was the second one. And you're talking about masterpieces, both of them. So I own Thriller. Like Thriller was the first or second cassette I ever bought. And then Run DMC's first album was either the first or second one. So I had both of those. I had Thriller and I had Run DMC's first album. And that's when you would break tapes.
Yeah.
And then you would have to tape them back together. You put the little Scotch tape on the tape and do the surgery, put it back together and put it back in the case and pop it in. And, you still listening to music. So, yeah, I'm dating myself.
Hey, man, I was, I grew up in the 80s and 90s, brother. So,
yeah, okay.
Right there with you.
So you're younger than me.
No, I think I got you, brother. I got you.
Okay.
But I was born in 76, man.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you got me.
Right. Okay. Hey, but back, I remember having Thriller on vinyl, brother, back in the day, like when it first came out.
Did you have enough guts to try to scratch on it? Did you have a turntable, like a belt drive turntable you was trying to fuck up?
Yeah, something like that, man. I had I just had the turntable. We had one of those big consoles. My parents had
the big floor model joint. You lift up the thing and with the five. What is it called? The 8-track. Yeah. Didn't your mom tell you don't fuck around and do that on the? Because my dude's mom down the street, she had one, and she had a SOS band and Hall and Oates, and we used to go get her records when she was at work, and we would cut them. And he would say, "Be careful, because you can't put a scratch on this record." It's like we're 13. Like, of course we fucked her records up.
Oh man!
But he got the whoopings for that. I didn't. I was long gone by the time she got home from work.
Yeah, right. Yeah, brother. No, man. But so let me ask you this, Mike. I'm really curious, man. I'm gonna put you on the spot even more.
Okay.
And by the way, I've been in a wing eating contest myself. I know you guys were talking about that with the G4 Jag interview.
I feel like I could beat anybody in a wing eating contest.
Let me tell you, man, I did it one time, Mike, and that's the only time I'm ever going to do it. I ate 34 wings. I think it was an hour.
You ate 34 wings in an hour? Was they hot?
I think they were like the lemon pepper,
You're not ready for
barbecue.
I do 34 wings in like 12 minutes.
Oh, bro, I don't know how you did. I was sick for like a week, bro. I was like, fuck that, never again.
I'm a fat boy. I eat shit.
Me too, man. Me too. But geez, you eat like 34 in 12 minutes. Jesus Christ.
I've never done it, but I can. I mean, I'm not gonna say I never did it before, because one thing that people get me for my birthday is y'all got BW3?
Which one?
BW3.
Buffalo Wild Wings?
Yeah.
Yeah. We got it out here.
So we got that out here. That's those are basically my. I like Wingstop too, but Buffalo Wild Wings, I love them.
We got both of those. Yeah.
I give 50 for my birthday. Hot.
When's your birthday?
I can finish those in like 15 minutes.
Damn. Is that right?
Yeah.
I'm messing with you, bro.
And that's fries too. I fuck with the fries too.
Oh shit! But yeah, man, I caught wind of that, that conversation that you guys were talking about, the wing eating contest, and I was like, no, I gotta tell Mike. I've done my share one time. That's it, bro. That's it.
You learned your lesson. All right.
Yeah.
I respect it.
Man.
I respect it.
Yeah.
If I do any eating contest, it's gonna have to be on camera, because I don't just do that for recreation. I'm gonna have to do it for the people.
Exactly, man.
Too old for that.
Yeah, exactly. Same here, man. So I wanted to ask you, okay, so preferences here, De La Soul or Tribe?
That's a tough one, but I'm gonna go with De La.
Okay, why is that?
I really grew attached to 3 Feet High and Rising when I was coming up. It was like my favorite album for a very long time. I like the aesthetic that they brought, and they was unafraid to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's calling them the Daisy.
The Daisy Age. Yeah.
Daisy. Yeah, man. That's a good one. Yeah, that's when someone asked me that, that's tough, man. But
it's so tough. It's almost unfair. Almost.
It's unfair.
Yeah.
exactly. Jay-Z or Kanye?
Lyrically, Jay-Z all day. Reasonable Doubt just changed me. But you know, that's another tough one because Kanye is talented on a whole different level.
Yeah.
But just for what Jay-Z did, Jay-Z brought the conversational flow to the music. You know, he was talking to you, you know what I mean, and not necessarily bopping on everything. He's just having a conversation with you, and that slowed down conversational flow, it really appealed to me. I think he mastered how you do that, you know. And I think when you look at Fred the Godson, rest in peace, the way he talked on music, I think that's a Jay-Z baby. You know what I mean? I think there's similarities in the way that they just talk to you.
Yeah, man, you hit it on the head, brother.
Yeah.
Jay-Z has a way of just connecting, like on a different level. Like, he wasn't just, bopping, like you said.
When he says,
having a
her
conversation
motherfucker saying they made Hove, make Hove say, okay, so make another Hove. That's a conversation. Like, you know what I mean? But he's saying, so that's why I was like, yo, the style was so fly. So it's got to be Jay-Z for me.
For sure, man. I got, here's another one. Okay.
Yeah.
Couple more. Nas or Guru?
Nas all day. Nas still number one on my list. I got Planet Asia at 1A.
Okay. Yeah. Nas
all time. Yeah.
Let me get you a little West Coast flavor here for you, and then we'll finish off with the big one. DJ Quick or Ice Cube?
Quick. And I love Cube on a musical level. Some of the stuff he did last year kind of troubles me, but politically. But Quick, the production, he got with El DeBarge, and like what he did on a song on the album Rhythmalism, incredible. So yeah, I'm a big DJ Quick fan. He's underrated.
Oh man, I love DJ Quick. Love him, man. Since day one.
Underrated.
Here's the big one: Tupac or Biggie?
I never choose. I never choose. I'm from the East, so Biggie is my natural inclination. I don't think Biggie ever dropped a dud verse. He doesn't have any verses that I've heard that are duds. Pac, you just feel him in the heart. If I had to,
yeah, man, that was tough.
I might say Pac because he touches my heart, but I never choose. Because people ask me, who asks me that all the time? Nephew. All the time. Okay. And I just tell him, Nephew, I'm not doing it, Nephew. Because you know what Nephew likes to do? He'll be like, yo, this guy versus this guy. And I'll pick a guy, and then Nephew will go off in my DMs. Yo, Unc, you crazy, you wild. And we'll be like 3 hours. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, I'm done with you, bro. I'm not having this conversation no more. And he might pop up and say, DMX or Melly Mel, like random shit. He just like to pit people against each other. So Tupac and Biggie, I say, nah, I don't want to do that.
Man. That one's that's just a wash, I guess.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, for me.
Right. No, I get it, man. I get it. And favorite Wu-Tang member? Raekwon
the Chef, without question.
You said that right away, man. No hesitation.
Yeah, he's always been my favorite. I like the way he get busy on top of beats. His slick talk is crazy. The voice. They used to call it swag. I don't know if we're allowed to call it that anymore, but yeah, I'm a big Chef fan.
Yeah, man. That only built for Cuban Links alone.
Man, only built for Cuban Links 2 was good as fuck.
What was the other one? Don't tell me the one he came out with right after. What was the title of that? His second album, the follow up to Only Built for Cuban Links. It wasn't. Oh my gosh, I forgot the name of it.
I wouldn't look it up. I threw my phone over there, so I can't look it up. And then I smoke weed, so I forget everything.
You know what I'm gonna do right now, Mike? I'm gonna look it up real quick, man, because
that's what's up.
What's up?
I said that's what's up. Let's do that. Look that up.
Yeah, let me look it up because I know we're coming up on time real quick. And that was the Built for Cuban Links and Immobilarity.
Oh, yes. Yes.
1999. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. And I remember when Protect Your Neck first came out. Life changing. So, yeah.
I mean,
Long live the
that
Woo.
album, what's that, brother?
Long live the Woo.
Well, you know what's interesting? You bring up 1993, man. That was a pivotal year in my life too, because I was like the beginning of my senior year of high school, and then I graduated in '94, and just so much happened that year, man. I mean, the Enter 36 Chambers dropped that year, man. I mean, shit, that alone. I mean, just all kinds of stuff, man. De La was in full
Those guys in the
swing.
mall. I met
Tribe.
Meth and Ray at the mall.
Is that right? We're in Cleveland.
Yeah, very, very brief. The place called Randall Park Mall. I was walking through the mall. You go past the music store, right? And if you're a music head, you always had to go into the music store when you was in the mall. Unless you was a guy that was in the mall like 4 times a week, then you was there already. So maybe you went past and you was going to get some shoes this time. But you still looked in the store when you was walking by. That's how we are, right? When you see the posters, something new done came out. And I saw Meth and Ray, and you can't mistake Method Man, right? And I'm walking through the mall, and they're inside the store looking at the wall at the music. And I'm walking by, and I look in there, I see him, and I go, "Yo, that's Method Man for sure." I mean, then I see Ray, but I had listened to the music, I had listened to the album. They was talking about Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with, right? And so I didn't run up on those guys. I kind of stayed in the hallway. I went up to the door, and I seen them, and I was like, "Meth and Ray," and they looked over. I was like, "Yo, what's up? I love your music." And they were like, "Yo, good looking." That was the whole conversation.
Oh shit.
They kept it real. I mean, listen,
cool.
It's a moment for me.
Hey, that's great, man. Shit.
Yeah, and you met the man couldn't pick me out of a lineup today, but
no. Oh, I hear you, bro.
One day we'll reunite. We'll talk. I'm sure of it.
No doubt, man. No doubt. Cool story, man. Hey, before we wrap things up, Mike, I like to ask every one of my guests this question.
Yeah.
Who would you like to sit down with? It could be anyone. It could be celebrity, personal friend, family member. Who would you like to sit down with and have dinner with?
They dead or alive? Anybody?
Yep.
Okay, James Baldwin.
James Baldwin, the author.
The
right?
author. And Stephanie Mills. Stephanie Mills. Yeah, I would love to. West Side Gun. I came to Buffalo to see you at the store opening. I know you was busy. I didn't get a chance to holler at you. West Side Gun is still on my list. I would love to do that. Yes.
Awesome, man. Yeah, that's a great list. And you went to Buffalo recently, right? Maybe a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, I want to say three or 4 weeks ago, I was in Buffalo. Yes. Yeah. That video is coming out, by the way, like soon, the next week or so. My Trials and Tribulations in Buffalo is getting edited. It's coming out. You'll see all of that.
Oh, nice. Can't wait for that, man. Yeah.
You'll see that I did not get to talk to
West Side Gun.
Yeah.
All right. Big shout out. Shout out to West Side Gun, man. Yeah, I'd like to ask that question. What's that?
I said shout to Griselda for sure.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a good question. It's a good question. Yeah. Great question.
Yeah, I like asking them, man. I get some interesting answers to that. I like to ask my guests who, it's one of a question of who inspires you, who's influenced you, who would you love to, pick brains with and all that good stuff, man. But
yeah.
Mike, before we go, man, where could the good people connect with you on your social media? Go ahead and plug your stuff, man. Tell them.
Okay, you can get me on IG at Mike Powers Global. Twitter is Mike Powers GLBL. My YouTube channel, youtube.com/ Mike Powers Global. Cash App, $ Mike Powers Media. Yeah, and then I'm on the streaming podcast platforms. I'm on Apple, Spotify, and whatever else they got out there. Those are the best places to find me. DM me on IG. I holler back. I still do have enough time to holler back a little bit. So yeah, if somebody wants to holler at me, go ahead and DM me.
There it is, man. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Powers. He's got the merch. He's already check him out. Check out his show every Saturday live on YouTube, 10 o'clock Pacific, 1 o'clock Eastern. check it out wherever you're at in the country or wherever you're in the world. You don't want to miss that show. It's a interactive, fun, entertaining, the whole gamut. My man right here puts it down, and he's going to continue to. Mike, I can't wait to see what you're going to do, man. What heights you reach, man, and I can't thank you enough for coming on, man. It's been a lot of fun. This was fun.
Thank you for having me on your show. You got a great show going, and I want to call you because I know you know Mark, and Mark, I want to call you by your name, but I should call you?
Double A. I go by Double A.
Double A. Okay.
On Profile Pod TV and
okay, that's good. So I'm gonna stick with Double A. Yeah, it's an honor for me to be asked to be on your show, and I appreciate your support, and I really love what you do. Like I said before we got on camera, the fact that you have so many brown people on your platform and the kind of conversations you have with these brown people, whether they be entrepreneurs or whatever they do, I think what you do is important. So thank you for having me on.
Wow, man, that means a lot. It does mean a lot, man. Coming from you, coming from a fellow entertainer, broadcaster, podcaster. Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you, brother. And,
you're welcome, bro. You're welcome.
And you're welcome back here anytime, Mike. We'll do a part 2 in the future, man, and we'll put it down. Maybe get Mark and Lennox Hughes and some other art. I don't know. We'll do something, man.
Yeah, Legends of the Empire. Shout out to Legends of the Empire. Them is my brothers too. Yes. Lennox.
Yeah,
shout out to Lennox Hughes. I want to say shout out to my whole team. It's quite a few people that work with me. I don't want to say everybody's name right now, but shout out to my team. They know who they are, and I'm looking forward to us having a part 2 one day. Yes,
absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have Mike Powers, host of the Mike Powers Show. Go check him out. You just heard where to connect with him. You won't be disappointed. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been such a pleasure having my man here. Thank you for being here. Once again, subscribe on YouTube. Give us a rate and review on Apple Podcasts. Follow me on Instagram. Shoot me a DM. Again, tell me how much you think I'm an idiot. I don't know, whatever. Just I love interacting with you. Give me some constructive criticism. We will be back next week for another splendid episode of the pod. For my man, Mike Powers, I'm Double A, your host. And always remember to take it easy. Thanks a lot, Mike.
Welcome, my brother. Thank you.